What if I told you the way it has always been done is not the best way? Facing your fears will change your life. The passion behind this journey is merging two separate worlds into one with the goal of creating value and awareness for a better life.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode is brought to you by R&R Pipeline, an infrastructure company. Our purpose? Enhancing America's infrastructure with a safety-driven, integrity-led culture that provides an environment for team members to grow and thrive. Welcome to another edition of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast. Do not blink, folks, because you might miss this episode with this man right here. He's pretty quick. Trey Speed, welcome to the show.
That's good. Thanks for having me.
So, it's been a long time coming, man. We haven't done a podcast for a while, maybe a year or so.
Yeah.
And then you were on the original one like 4 or 5 years ago we did, which was incredibly funny to think about that now. And then when we first started the show, I think it was the second episode that was released. You were on that one. And I remember you asked me a question about doing content and like what I thought about it. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't even know anything about content right now. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing when you step into an arena you don't know anything about, and then you just are willing to go for it. Yeah. What ends up happening? But I appreciate you coming on the show today. Let's we have very different backgrounds in every form and fashion, but we're here for a very similar reason. So let's talk about that. Let's go back to your childhood a little bit, high school era, and then segued all the way to how we got here today.
Yeah. So just to preface, like I'm definitely young. I'm like 20. I'm 25. So I've been coming to 4am though now for like 5 years. I started coming in 2019 2018 towards the end of 2018 is when I came.
That's wild.
So yeah, and I basically like came to 4am straight out of fucking high school, college, damn near.
That's crazy.
So yeah, kind of how I got here. So dude, obviously through Corey Gregory, like Corey G Fitness. I was a massive like muscle farm fan. All the training methods that Corey was doing, the 28 method, the squat every day. When I was in middle school, I was getting into weightlifting. I had no idea what I was doing, as most of us did, know. Right. But like I saw the crazy shit that was on the internet, and I wanted to, just go to the gym on a Friday at my high school and pump my arms. Simple as that, right?
Bicep band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see the first bicep band, and you're like, holy shit, I need to do this more.
Yeah.
So basically, I just started like working out, honestly, like at my high school and everything, and then eventually it led to where I was going to this gym called the Pit. And so I basically, throughout high school, I trained at 5 a.m. before I would go to school in the morning. I would wake up at like, I think it was like 4 at that time or whatever, drive to the gym, train, and then go home, shower, and go straight to high school every single day. And so I did that for about like a year and a half or so. But about halfway through that, Corey was, huge supporters of the people that founded that gym and everything. So I was able to like just basically network and meet Corey. And Corey came up to the Pit one morning at 5 a.m. instead of going the old school at 4 a.m. that day. Corey and a couple people like drove all the way up to the fucking Pit in Orville, Ohio, which if anybody's familiar is like middle of nowhere, Ohio, and like straight cornfields. And he drove all the way up there and worked out. We deadlifted and everything on a Monday, and it was fucking electric.
That's awesome,
dude.
It
was sick. Yeah. Like I remember I deadlifted 405. Like it was, and at that time that was massive for me. Like it was legendary. And
what would you weigh at that point? I mean,
so funny. I actually weighed more in high school than I weigh now.
Oh,
which is very different for a lot of people. I think. I think it's just now because like I'm a lot more in tune with my body, and I'm trying to like keep my weight down so I want to compete at 148 again. Is my whole plan. But I weighed like, dude, in high school when I was lifting, I weighed like 160, 165.
Damn,
like
I didn't know that.
I got to show you a picture.
Yeah, I got to see a picture. Yeah.
I was pretty blown up. Like you look at me and be like, damn, you're massive. You're big. So like I benched like 275.
Oh,
like,
shit.
I was like pushing some weight. So anyways though, Corey came up, met him. And in high school, I was a really good track athlete. So I got D1 offer to run track at Akron University, a MAC school, and I was like, I mean, I just ran track my whole life. At that time, it was my passion. That's what I did. I ran track year round. I was one of those kids even that like I didn't play other sports in high school. I focused on like one sport, which like I have some regret too, but it's a whole other story. But like I track was my thing though, basically.
Well, that's where you got your name, Trey Speed, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, so basically though, it ended up where I was able to go to college for track. And basically what happened is I got to college and I realized college wasn't for me.
Right.
I got to college. Yeah. I got to college and I got that depression that some kids get, you know, when you get there and you're like, okay, I'm away from home. Yep. Do I want to go to school? Do I even like track anymore? Like, there's so many things going through my head where I was just honestly just like crashing out, like going crazy. Like I was like, I just have to leave, you know, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So I just decided to just quit track. The whole reason I came there, decided to drop out. I like didn't even like finish the semester of classes or anything. I like still stayed up like at college and kicked it with people and shit like that. But like it was like fuck class, you know, fuck everything. Basically,
that's what I did. I went to High State a lot, but never actually went to class.
Exactly. So it's just like fuck all this. I'm just gonna figure it out basically. And so at that time though, in my mind, my honest plan was I was like I'm gonna become a big model. And so, seriously, so dead ass. Listen to this. So in high school, I actually had gotten signed to 2 different modeling agencies, and so I was doing like print work, like commercial work. So like I was in like a couple commercials. I was in like some print work, like you know, like the big signs when you walk by the stores and everything. Yeah. So like, I was getting gigs though. Like it was looking promising. Actually, is the thing.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? So like. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and this is how I'm gonna make money, basically now, and you know, figured out from there. And so that was kind of the plan. That's kind of what I was, you know, gossiping around to my friends, like, you know, like, hey, this is, you know, everyone obviously knew I was saying fuck track. So they're like, what the fuck are you doing? So this is the whole grand plan I was telling people, okay, and. Somehow that plan got all the way down to Corey Gregory in fucking Granville, Ohio.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Like, got all the way down to Granville, Ohio to Corey. I didn't even, I mean, I had met Corey, like, in person, like, lifted with him, worked out with him. Had even drove down the old school to work out with you guys, like, in the morning, like, even at that time, like, a couple times. Like, came to the meets, like, in December when they had him at OSG and all that.
Oh, yeah, the Christmas meets,
Yeah, like, Christmas meets. Like, I was coming to everything, like, supporting, getting to know the people and everything, but, like, I genuinely, like, didn't even have Corey's fucking phone number at the time or anything. Like, it wasn't
you
like...
just show up every once in a while.
Yeah, like, wasn't tight like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, so I just was chilling in my dorm one day, you know, just chilling, and, like, I get a random call on my phone, and I recognize though that it's a Granville number. I knew that's where Corey lived. I knew that's where the area the gym was around. I was like, okay. So I picked it up, and he was like, so basically, like, you know, I heard what's going on. And he's like, so what the fuck are you doing, basically?
What the hell were you doing?
Yeah, he's basically just asked me straight up, like, what the fuck are you doing with your life then? Because he
that's the same thing he did for me, man.
He had knew that I had the work ethic and everything. So like, he just called me, and I gave him the spill. Like, this is what I envision myself doing. This is what I want to do. I think, at least, you know. And so at the end though, he was just like, hey, like, I know you're a hard worker. I know you're about it in life. So like, if you wanna move down here to, you know, in Columbus and do an unpaid internship at Max Effort, we can figure it out. And he called me, like, if I remember correctly, like, timeline wise, that was like September, October or something. And I was working Black Friday, like, by, you know what I mean? Like, I was already working like Black Friday, here down for Black Friday, like in December. Like, I was already in December. I didn't even have a place down here yet. I was driving every day back from home. So it was like an hour and a half drive, like all the way down here to the Newark office.
Like, it was costing you money.
Yeah. Like, unpaid internship, like, just saying, fuck it, I'm just going to figure it out, you know? So I did that for, like, drove back and forth. It was like a month or so. Finally found a place in January in Newark and moved in, and then was doing the unpaid internship for only a month with Corey and Max, and Corey's camera guy couldn't wake up in the morning. So, excuse me. So Corey's camera guy couldn't wake up in the morning, and I'm a consistent motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna be there. So like, I was like, I just walked up to Corey and I was like, yo, I got a camera. I can figure this out. And
did you have any background in that though?
And at the time I had no camera background knowledge.
But you seen opportunity.
I saw the opportunity though. And like, I owned a camera, like, you know, but like I was not a photographer whatsoever. I was not a videographer. I was not a photographer. I had no idea what I was doing. To be honest, I was going on YouTube after every gym session and looking up tips and tricks on how to take better pictures, you know, like shit like that. Like, but like, I was forced to learn though is the thing. And so but back to it, I saw the opportunity and Corey was like, yeah, gas that bitch up. That's literally what he said. Yep. And so I got the camera and first day literally did the content, sent it to Danny that morning, and the rest was fucking history, basically.
5 years later, you're still doing it, right?
Yeah. And then like a month after that even is when I started Business and Biceps.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah.
So like it all transpired.
So you recorded all that content?
I recorded it all. Yeah, it was all the Business and Biceps
Yeah.
content. It was all the Business and Biceps content. And then when the producer left that following fall, then I was the man behind Business and Biceps. I ran the social media. I ran the Business and Biceps social media.
Yeah.
I created all the content. I did the audio. All that.
I had no idea. I had no idea you did all that. Yeah.
Yes, I did all that for Business and Biceps then up until 2020 or 20. Yeah, it was 2020, and then I walked away, and then I obviously came back and everything like that. But like. Yeah, so it was a whole journey though, and kind of like how I got here.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's truly, truly wild. Yeah. But it all transpired very, very quick. Like I moved down here, and I was just fucking in it.
Dude, when you just commit, there is no plan B. I'm gonna make this a success, or I'm gonna die trying to do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can accomplish.
Dude,
and that's how it was for me.
You have to just go for it. Like I just saw a message earlier that someone messaged me on Twitter. They were like, this person just started a new job, like managing a social media account for a Twitter company or a crypto company. And I messaged them like, congratulations, like I'm happy for you and everything. And they messaged me back and they were like, yeah, do you like have any advice? And I told them I was like, go all in.
There is no plan B. Yeah. There's no other option.
I was like, the best advice I have is just be fucking about it and go all in. Give it 100%. Make it you.
Under promise, over deliver. Do more than you're getting paid to do. Like
100%.
It sounds so basic, and it is.
Yeah.
But it's so unheard of,
dude.
Especially today.
Yeah.
I mean, so my God, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
Everybody expects to be paid something for something they feel they deserve, and then I always tell people like, you desire it, you don't deserve it, because if you deserved it, you'd already have it.
Well, I mean, everyone thinks they're owed, right? Yeah. Like everyone, looks at everyone.
Shit.
Yeah, everyone looks at someone like you owe me this or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Or people just think back about stupid shit, and they're like, think about something stupid that you did fucking 5 years ago, and they got this ego in their head that they still owe you. It's fuck all that shit, dude. Well, nobody owes you.
Paying your dues to accomplish like any type of feat is so underestimated. Like nobody that hasn't accomplished something that they set out to do, a long-term goal, it's very underestimated what actually is hard. Yeah. And what hard feels like.
100%.
Like when you take on an endeavor, you know it's going to be hard, and then right when it gets the worst, 99% of people quit. Yeah. And only the 1% that achieve that thing ultimately know what hard feels like. Yeah, so then you expect it. Like now I know I'm going to take this on podcast. I'm going to take it on 2 years with no expectation. So I'll go 2 years. I'm hoping it's decent in 2 years. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm committed to it. Yeah, just figure it out. And after 2 years, if I need to reevaluate, I will. Year one in, I'm going to keep going because I love it. Yeah. But I had to set that at the beginning, knowing that it's going to be a serious struggle.
100%, yeah.
And it was
completely foreign, new. So yeah, but you're committed to it, and you're just willing to learn. Is the thing. Like that's the thing too. Like most people aren't willing to learn. Like you hear like other people's advice, and you instantly like most people like instantly like have their ego, and they think it's criticism or something, and they don't know how to take criticism. Like people are there's a lot more people out there that do like you mean they genuinely do want to help you and everything. Right. You just all you have to do is just listen.
Dude, listening is such an art that is unheard of anymore. Don't listen with intent to respond. Listen to understand.
100%. Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
It's wild. And I'm the biggest, I am a prime example of someone that struggled with that for the longest time, where I was listening and calculating a response in my head. Yeah. I'm not listening to understand this person's point of view.
100%.
And so now I listen, and 5 seconds before I try to respond, because I'm processing this person's point of view before 100%. I respond. Yeah. And then not having your input like directly there, responding with, are you open to me giving you a solution? Are you wanting a solution, or are you wanting 100%. Someone to vent to? Like setting the stage at the beginning, and then opening up that platform. Yeah. And then people were more willing to be like transparent and vulnerable. Yeah. But man, communication in itself and hearing what someone's presenting to you, whew, that is a skill set that is rare today, especially.
It's very lacking today, especially with social media. Just the attention span of anybody in today's world is very, very
0.3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason those TikTok videos are so short.
Right. Yeah, I think like majority of my content, 4 seconds is like the threshold. I think 3 or 4 seconds is like what the standard is, anyways. After that, if you get to 4 seconds, then you've got someone hooked.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah,
they say like a hook now is anywhere from like 2 to 7 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like you have 2 to 7 seconds to hook somebody in on a video. That's 60 seconds or less.
That shit ain't long.
No, you gotta come out popping real quick. Yeah. So man, opportunity and seizing the like taking that chance and just believing in yourself. You probably seen not what it would become now, but you knew when you took that chance there was something there.
100%.
You didn't know what it was, but you knew that you took one step and then one step and one step. You put the time in, and then you got the opportunity that you created. Talk about just that in itself, like taking that risk. You're not getting paid. You move here with no income.
Yeah, no expectations
you
really.
Create opportunity. Talk about the opportunity creation portion of it. Like, what advice would you give other people on that?
The thing with opportunities, the hugest thing I would say is there are plenty full of opportunities in the world. There are a million opportunities in the world every single day that are in front of everybody's face. And I think people just lack the awareness of them. I think people just get so stuck in their own vision, their own lane, that sometimes there is genuinely just up, like straight up, like sometimes there's a money bag sitting right in front of them and they have no fucking clue. They don't even realize it because the money bag's sitting right in front of them, but they're staring out the fucking window at a tree, waiting for the money to grow. Like there's
so good,
dude. There's opportunities right in front of you every single day. It's honestly just about having the awareness, and I think that's the big thing that I've been when I talk to people like a lot now. Like it's just being aware of things, dude. Like it's just most people just lack like, okay, like this is how people feel. This is what's going on. This is probably how I should react to it. You know, like
awareness is such a big word.
Yeah. Like you don't have to, there's so many opportunities in the world because just another thing, like people have to take a step back and realize that there is also so much money in this world. There is a shit ton of money in this world.
Yeah.
There is so much money. It can go around to everybody.
Massive.
It can go around to everybody. Yes. You just have to get a sliver of the piece of the pie, and you just have to find the niche, and just you know what I mean. You're gonna see the opportunities are in front of your face.
You got to go, be specific on your niche, pinpoint it, and then go all in on that. And don't try to do a lot of things good or decent.
Yeah.
Do one thing and be great,
100%.
and then double down on it until you absolutely cannot do any more physically and mentally to excel in that. And then build a team, and then keep going and keep going.
Like you want to be an expert. Like what do they say? Like 10,000 hours and something makes you like a master expert, whatever. Like you want to do that kind of stuff though. Like you want to have all that added up time. Like I think about like the pictures that I edit in the morning every single day from the gym. Like all the pictures that I take at Corey that I get uploaded on the Corey G Fitness. Like dude, those pictures, like I get them done so fast now and so quality because think about all the time I've spent every single morning, Monday through Friday, editing pictures directly after the gym. I have a system. I know what I'm doing.
And that's the thing. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our system. James Clear in Atomic Habits says that. And it couldn't be more true. We can have all these great aspirations in life and all these goals and these vision boards and all this shit, but what are you actually doing to get there?
Yeah.
Because fantasizing about something becoming a reality and it becoming a reality because you're willing to put in the time is so vastly different. I know a lot of people with great ideas, with great intent, with great thoughts, with great they'll vocalize a lot about what they think about and, I might go do this. That's cute. Go do it and then tell me about it.
No action.
Because no action. And I call it priority awareness.
Okay.
That's been my theme of like the year, priority awareness. What are your top, 1 to 5 priorities, and nothing else matters but that. So if it doesn't fit within the scope of that 1 to 5 priorities,
I like that.
I don't do it anymore. Because it doesn't fit what I'm actually trying to accomplish. And when you accomplish one thing and then you get to another point, you start having an impact on other people. Everybody wants your time.
Yeah.
But time is something that you cannot replace. Everything else is replaceable but time.
100%.
And having that be a part of your system is massive.
Yeah.
Just saying no is a complete sentence and it is very powerful.
Yeah.
You know, hey, man, you want to do this? Nope, I ain't got no time.
Yeah.
And it's also how you present it. So do you want to come do this or go do that? Do you want to eat this or eat that? It's like, no, I am completely tapped out on my capacity right now.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something you're interested in that may fit your priorities later, let's revisit it in 6 months, whatever. Or like, hey, do you want to come do this show with me or, you know, do this podcast or whatever? Same thing. But then offer something, you know, that's generous to that person. No, I'm not interested, but I could have my assistant introduce you to this person that might be.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So do it with a good gesture. But man, you just got to say no sometimes.
Yeah, 100%, dude. You have to say no because it's all about like, it's just too like it's your reputation, it's your brand. Like you saying no, it's going to set you up for that next opportunity. Then that is the yes.
Repetition.
That's like a no-brainer yes though. You know, like
Well, you talked about reputation and repetition creates reputation. So what you do day in and day out, and it's a part of like not taking on that extra opportunity and it may seem great and you might like really want to do it.
Yeah.
But then what so many people underestimate is this 1 hour of time a month becomes 4 to 5 hours a week very quickly. Where you commit to 1 hour and then the person shows up late, then there's extra. Like it always ends up compounding and being bigger than what the initial thing was.
Yeah.
And so just being able to say no, having a system in place that this is what I do, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not wavering from it. If you fit in this, great. If not, great. I'm living life on my terms, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah, you gotta like what Corey says, like you gotta drive in your own lane. Like when there's no I just posted a tweet about this the other day, like because I was like one of my favorite things about driving to the gym at 4 a.m. is there's no traffic out.
I love it.
It makes you realize that when you're driving in your own fucking lane, there's no traffic. You know, there might be a lot of fucking construction sometimes, but there's no traffic.
That night shift, You know, it's funny. Like I woke up at 2:15 or something this morning. My alarm goes off at 3.
Okay.
And I woke up early, beat my alarm, and I just knew I wasn't getting to Traevon Tim go back to sleep. Like it's whatever. And so I leave my house at 2:45 maybe, and I was like, there's about 20 less cars on the road than I normally see. Yeah. Like going from 3:30 to 3:45.
Just that 20,
just that little bit of half hour earlier. I was like, I noticed that today. Yeah. Like there isn't a single soul out here. You know, I seen like 5 cars instead of 25 cars.
No, yeah. Because I noticed that sometimes too. Like if I'm a little late.
Like going home from the gym at 5, 6 o'clock, whatever the time is, like, there's quite a bit of traffic out there. Yeah. Ain't no one showing up the 3:30 to the gym
not
going.
At that time,
it's rare that you see too many people out. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about back to the opportunity, but you got to build confidence to really be able to take that opportunity. Yeah. So I call it Pursuit 151. I don't know if you've ever heard this or not. It's something I kind of came up with for myself, and this podcast is a prime example. Okay. Pursuit 151, simplified, is 100 shares of commitment, 100 shares of confidence. Okay. So when in pursuit of something, for me, like this podcast, I was 100% in on commitment. Got to go all in on the commitment. Yeah. But for me to say that I was 100% confident about doing a podcast would have been laughable. Yeah. 51% though is where I was at. Okay. And I think when you want to pursue something, you got to be 100% committed to the thing. But confidence grows as you commit. So confidence of 51% means that you understand enough to pursue it.
Put yourself out there.
You're confident enough to be vulnerable and put yourself out there. But you know that you don't know very much, but you're willing to take that on and learn because you are committed to it for whatever reason. So I call it Pursuit 151. 100% commitment, 51% confidence, and that's where your 151 comes in. Yeah. The commitment changes the narrative. If you commit, to me, I committed, but I didn't know a damn thing about it. So now my confidence is probably 75%.
Yeah, it goes up, But
it grows as you commit.
100%, it's only going to continue.
So talk about that from like a personal development, from training, from any component of life when you commit and then you start to grow and how that confidence comes about.
Oh, man, dude. I mean, the best example is honestly the gym. Like, you start going to the gym, and the big, like, just to throw it all the way back. Think about when the first few times you ever went to a gym. You know, like when you first started going to a gym.
Terrified.
Think about how terrifying it was, but also think about though how quickly you grew, like how quickly you saw a transformation when you first started. Because when you first start going to the gym, it's pretty quick. Like, you know, like your transformation is drastically quick when you very first start going.
Yeah, because your body is in shock.
It's straight shock.
Yeah.
But I think what that really does for people is it really fucking makes you realize though that when you just do something and you commit and you go, this is what I do, you're going to see the changes. You know, like you're going to see the changes. Dude, it's all just about like, you have to have the confidence. You just have to do that shit. Like,
it's also, confidence is also not caring about opinions from the critics.
Yes.
The Man in the Arena is my favorite quote of all time.
Okay.
Because I have always been willing to put myself in the arena and take criticism from everyone in the stands. And in the last 5 to 10 years, I've truly not cared about the people in the stands criticizing me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to ask for their opinion on the thing I'm in the arena for. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If someone's in the arena,
because you're in the arena for a reason.
Right. If someone's in that arena with me and they've already accomplished the thing that I want, I'm all ears. I'll come to you for advice. I'm all ears. I might not do the thing you did.
Yeah.
I may not even fully respect the opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to listen.
100%.
But don't be in that stand and throw shade at me and expect me to really
fuck with
care.
that.
It's not going to happen.
I fuck with that a lot. Yeah. Another thing too with confidence is like I always think like ego, like confidence versus ego. Like I think that's one thing too that a lot of people get mixed up. Like some people, you think they're super, super confident, but they're actually just very, very egotistical, and they're not actually. You mean what you're saying is just going in one ear and out the other.
How do you tell the difference? Do you have any way to do it?
How do you tell the difference? Man, I think telling the difference between confidence versus ego. I think it has to do with, honestly, what comes to my mind is just basics, morals, and values of what people the reputation that they have, to be honest.
So I think, my opinion on that is ego would be someone telling you what they want to become. Confidence is telling someone or helping someone with what they've already accomplished. Okay. That's how I would separate it, I guess. So ego is saying I'm going to do this thing, but not actually applying yourself. So it's more about hypothetical. Confidence is proof. Yeah. So when you think about good enough, what does good enough mean? Well, are you good enough to, am I good enough to be considered an entrepreneur? Okay. Well, I don't really know, but I got proof that says I have 5 different business interests. So whether or not that's a reality check, I would say yes, it is because of that, right? So being good enough to me is a reality check and not a feeling about something. Okay. So if I am an aspiring entrepreneur, but I don't know anything, but I'm on that way, I can't say I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. I can say I aspire to be one, but I'm not one yet because I don't have proof. Yes. So I guess that's how I would separate it. Ego is not having the proof, but saying you are something. Confidence is having the proof. And then back to the morals. Like, why do confident people talk about what they're good at? They want to help. Majority of the people just want to help. 100%. Why is G so confident? Because he wants to help people. 100%. He wants to help people get better. Facts. So that's how I would separate it. I've never really talked about that, I guess, but it's very interesting because when someone is confident, you feel it on them where they don't have to say anything. When they walk in the room, like, oh shit, that guy's different. Yeah. I mean, so one thing that comes to mind is like, when it comes to confidence versus ego is honestly like, comes to mind is ego lifting. Like you think about people that come in the gym. So like, just think about your like people walking up to a bar to squat or deadlift. You can fucking tell when someone is confident under the bar and when someone is just ego lifting it because you can just you see it. You see that dog. It's very, very evident. Dude, it's so funny because I think about like the guy with the KT tape all wrapped around him that's screaming and nose torque, like got wraps and just decked out in all this fancy gear, wants to be, heard, wants to make himself like seen, wants the attention. That's ego to me, like prime example. Or someone that's doing like a 3/4 squat or half a squat
Yeah.
with way too much weight and
Way
looks
too
like
much
it's
weight,
gonna,
awful,
like,
awful
snap
form.
their spine. Yeah,
and you're just like,
so,
okay.
but like, and even for me, I started doing the pump 30, I think last year. No, it was probably just this year. But like when G started doing it, I started doing it too because my body was feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm repping out 20 to 60 pound dumbbells on chest press, and I'm not benching 400 pounds right now. It's not a hit to my confidence because it's a season that I'm taking on this.
It's also still challenging.
And it's hard as fuck. Yeah, I was shocked too.
It's not. It doesn't make just because it's lighter weight don't mean it's fucking easy.
Right. No, that's for damn sure. And there was a moment in time where I probably was somewhat borderline, either pushing too hard or maybe a little bit of ego because I was reaching for something.
Yeah.
But what happens? And I think anytime someone overextends that ego, maybe perceiving as confidence, I got hurt.
Yeah, you
get
pec,
right?
Yeah, you get a rowdy check,
right? and that's the good thing about a 4 a.m. crew group because it's going to be like, yo, you should probably not do that.
Yeah.
And G had to call me out so many times after, like I tore my pec. I remember like 3 days after I did, I'm in here and I'm like spotting someone on the bench. He's like, Jake, get the fuck out of the road, like move.
Should probably just relax.
And I was like my ego, was busted at that point.
100%.
Like I can't even spot this dude.
Yeah.
But it was he did it for every right reason that I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because we got to check ourselves, but we also got to check our group too. Because there's 100%. Times when we all do it. Yeah. And we all know that I probably shouldn't do this right now. It's probably not smart.
100%.
And whether the person listens or not, having that ability just to call it out is huge, I think.
Dude, yeah. And just the being in a group though, where it can be reciprocated well though, too, even, you know what I mean? Like where then you can call someone out and you reciprocate it like that though, because there's so many times though that like maybe Corey could have said something to you that and you got like offended though, or you got butthurt. Right. You're like, why does this motherfucker think I can't do that? Like you I mean, just because I tore my pec, you don't think I can fucking lift off this bar to someone? Like,
and what you don't realize is he's doing it out of a place of like help.
100%, yeah.
And he's probably right because he's like the OG out of the whole crew. So he's been here the longest. He's been doing it the longest. He knows the most about it. He's probably fucking right.
Yeah.
So listen to someone that's been in that arena
100%.
That's already like from a fitness component, you know, all of us combined have probably not achieved what he has by himself in all reality. Yeah. So it's like he obviously understands that we're doing this programming in his gym for a reason.
He fucking gets it.
Probably listen to him, right?
Works,
like take the advice.
It fucking works. Yes. So yeah.
Back to the gym, I think it's such a foundational component to every aspect of growth. Mm-hmm. Physically, I think you got to have the physical dialed in before you can grow mentally, because I thought about this the other day and I heard it was a question someone asked and they said, if you had to pick one area that you excelled in, would it be physical or mental? Okay. And it was a really interesting perspective because one guy said mental and then the other guy said physical. Because I can grow physically, and the mental is going to grow with it because I'm willing to sacrifice how I feel for what I need to do. 100%. My motivation becomes discipline very quick because I physically have to pursue this thing. My mental growth is there. Mm-hmm. You cannot problem solve your way out of something that's a physical pursuit. Yeah. So if you're a gardener that's mentally capable of anything and you go to war, it's not going to help you any. You're mentally tough, right? Like you're not going to strategically plan your way out of this physical thing. So it was very interesting. But the iron for me, the iron in infrastructure came from the foundational weightlifting and heavy iron equipment. That's my two pillars of iron, and it built my personal and professional infrastructure. Delayed gratification from the gym, doing the thing over and over and over, the compound effect. Talk about that. You kind of touched on the camera thing, but talk about doing something every day, hours and hours and hours without seeing a direct result. Yeah. But the impact that it has long term. Man,
the compound effects. Man, so I had a buddy in high school give me the compound effect book to read.
One of my top 5 favorites.
It changed my fucking life when I read that bitch in high school, dude. Like I was mind blown. Cause like it's high school, you know, I was on like 16, 17 years old. So like a personal development book to me at that time was mind boggling.
What's personal development?
Exactly. Yeah. So I read that and my whole fucking life changed. I just knew like, okay, if I do something repeatedly, I'm going to be fucking good at it. It's literally proven by
science.
Everybody else. If you want to do something, do it. If you want to be good at it, fucking just repeat and do it over and over and over again. And like you said, the delayed gratification. That's the thing is you have no idea when anything is going to come. Like when you're just like everyone says like you get lucky or whatever, you know, like when you're doing what you need to do, like the luck just, you know, it just falls in your lap basically.
Opportunity means
like,
preparation, right?
100%. Like I always think about it's like super cliche picture, but like you see the two people mining, they're mining, and the one dude they're mining diamonds, and the one dude hits the diamond, another dude turns around you know, like a foot before.
I know exactly what you're talking
like
about.
you see that fucking everywhere, but I love that, dude, because everyone just fucking gives up, dude. People fucking give up in this world. It's very easy to just give up and give in, but like the delayed gratification, dude, like you see the results that people have. You see the results, and you just have to sit there and ask yourself, like, why not me? Like, I can fucking do this too. Like, you have to look at other people, like, and this may go to like an ego thing, but like, you have to look at other people and just be like, why the fuck can I do that? Like, that person can fucking do that. I can fucking do that if that person can do that.
If physics doesn't say it's impossible, I cannot jump and hit the moon, right?
Yeah.
Like physically impossible. If it is possible by physics, if science says it is possible, humanly possible, it can be achieved.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
If there's a 0.1% chance, I just need a chance.
100%.
It doesn't have to be, there is no guarantee.
Yeah.
And I think
there's no guarantee. Yeah.
Never. And I think that's one thing about entrepreneurship that's so unspoken. There is a guarantee that it's going to be hard, and you're going to have the input is guaranteed to be hard. It's going to be complex. It's going to be tiresome and frustrating and stressful. You're guaranteed to have all them things, but you are not guaranteed an outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not. No.
You're not. There's no guarantee that it will work.
No.
And I think that's why we love it so much.
Yeah.
It's the chase. It's the pursuit.
It's the pursuit that it's proving it to yourself, like proving it to others. Like it's being a man of your word. Like,
finish what you start.
If you say you're going to do something, like I'm going, like, I've told people this before, like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. It may, you mean I may tell you this, and like, it doesn't mean I'm going to fucking do it in a month from now. But
the timeline is
you have no fucking clue. But 6 years from now, though, you might fucking hop on social media and you're going to be like, holy shit, he fucking did that. I remember when he fucking told me a long ass time ago.
I love it. You know, I think about me growing up. My ceiling of success in high school was dead or in jail by 21.
Yeah.
I had a pretty rough patch for about 4 or 5 years. And I think about the world and what their viewpoint was of me. 99% correct. Mm-hmm. They were 99% correct for 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Until that one thing that I said I was going to do, I did it.
Yeah.
And that one thing made me 100% right.
Change everything.
It just needed one thing to actually go my way because of the willingness to put the time and effort in.
100%.
And so I live now differently. I view the world so much different now, but my life motto is persistent patience.
Okay.
Good intent plus max effort equals persistent patience. I am persistent in my pursuit. I am a dog.
Yeah.
I am go, go, go. I don't even have a brake pedal. I just say all gas.
All gas.
But I am patient with the outcome because I've been overly persistent and sabotage the outcome by trying to force the timeline.
100%.
So like G on the island, you know, there was a point where he could not do anything else. And if he did, it would probably actually make it worse.
Yeah.
And I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
So whenever we were buying our pipeline, we had a closing date at the end of December of 2018.
Okay.
And we ended up not closing until May of 2018. Okay. I was so distraught at the time. Gap. Because we had 4 or 5 different dates set for closing. December 31st, letter guaranteed.
Each one comes around, and you're looking at that calendar, and you're like, I didn't fucking do it.
The beginning of December, the bank drops us completely. We had to start fresh. And my life turned upside down.
Yeah.
My attorney was sitting there. We got the call. My attorney's like, isn't this fun? And he's probably 65 now. So 5 years ago, he's 60. I'm like, I'm about to beat up an old man.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun? What the hell are you talking about? This sucks. Like, we just got dropped. I'm broke. Yeah. It's the 12th round of a boxing match. I just got knocked down, and there's 20 seconds left.
Yeah. You have to fucking knock him out.
I am one jab away from being completely dead.
Yeah.
But I got back up, and I realized, you know what? Regardless of what the outcome is, this is fun.
Yeah.
Because I will never be in this position again. I am never going to have a situation where I'm all in, with the risk being this high, I'm looking at losing everything, my house.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally, I would probably have to sell my damn testicles to have a dime in my name. But it's like, I am never going to have this feeling again.
Yeah.
And I just took a step back. I'm like, you know what? This is fun. Because no matter what, I will never have this replicated. I will never be the same man, and the situation will always be different.
Yeah.
So now I'm able to embrace the hard. And I realize now more than ever, whenever it is the most pain, if I'm pursuing something and it's the most painful,
Yeah.
it's the hardest. And I'm like, I'm just questioning, is it worth it? And I want to give up, but I know I can't. That's when I just have to sit back and think, man, this is where the breakthrough is going to happen. This is where the progress starts. And that's where you realize that you're growing. And so when I think about pain being the highest, it's a form of growth.
It is, yeah.
That's why they call it growing pains.
Yeah.
You think about that, like, man, every time that guy mining wants to turn around and he doesn't, that one hit makes it all worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So I look at it like I always reference on the compound effect, a pinata. So you think about kids at a birthday party, they got this pinata hanging up, and you have 20 little like Barry Bonds going up and smacking the damn thing, right? And all these sluggers go up and hit it, it doesn't bust, and they're all frustrated. Then you got this little girl that goes up with a bat, she swings and actually misses a pinata, swings underneath of it, and then she swings back around and just barely taps it, and it just explodes.
Yeah.
It was all them hits before.
Yeah.
And it was just that last one that opened it up. Compound effect at its finest, man.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
So powerful to know that you can achieve anything if you're willing to sacrifice time with pursuit. If you can do something consistently for a year, you can achieve some really good things.
Yeah.
Great things even. 1 year of time.
100%.
If you're willing to do it for a decade, 10 years, you can achieve some really high level things, some greatness. If you're willing to do it for a lifetime, you can change the world.
100%. But I think like where people get stuck though is like basically what we're talking about is just straight risk and reward. And what we're saying is you don't know what the reward is. You don't know even if you're going to get a reward, which, most of the time when we're talking is like financially or whatever, but you don't know if it's going to fucking come. It might not come. It might be fucking worse.
Yeah.
But like you have to take the risk. You have to be willing to take risk because it's
the real
like,
risk is not trying.
Yeah, like it's cliche, but like you have if the real fucking risk is just you have to fucking take it.
So many people create this scenario in their head that doesn't exist. Anxiety, fear, thinking about things that are out of your control. It's all created. Like everybody does it. It's a natural instinct, but anxiety, it's really created.
100%.
Fear, same thing.
Yeah.
When I think about fear, I think about this podcast.
Okay.
And I think about me facing this thing. So you're going to laugh at this. My two biggest lifelong fears are having my shirt off in front of other people. Okay. Which is hilarious now. Yeah. Because I take a damn thing off every day. Yeah. And being on camera, being in a spotlight, a presentation of any sort.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Like
my two biggest fears of my whole entire life since I was a kid. I grew up fat, overweight.
Yeah, and now look at you now. Now look at you now.
Yeah, now look at me. But that was a big fear. So having my shirt off, I remember having my shirt on at the pool party when I was a kid. Okay. Because of that insecurity. Yeah. And then it was doubled down by not being able to read and write very well because I had to get like a reading lessons in grade school. And like I never was good at that. Yeah. And because of that, I would be terrified to stand up and present anything because I couldn't read and write very well. So being in the spotlight I would rather die than do that. Yeah, like get in front of the class and speak and shit like that. I would have shit my pants. Yeah. So like you think about them two biggest fears for me are faced every day. Every day. Now, like, every day, yeah. I face it like literally every day. And facing it opened up so much freedom in my life that I didn't know I needed. Yeah. And when people look at these fears, the longer you wait, the bigger they become. 100%, so I think to visualize fear for me, like I always say, staying on top of this ledge and you're looking out at this thing that you're going to pursue. And the fear of it is so big, you can't even hardly see the end. You just see nothing but fear. And it's miles long. Like you're in the middle of the ocean, it's miles long. Yeah. And it looks like it's 100 foot deep. And it gets bigger visually as you wait and you think about it more. But you take one step and you realize that water's only 3 inches deep. It's not 100
I
foot
can
deep.
walk.
I can walk in it. Now I might trip and fall, get wet, get bruised up and beat up a little bit, but I'm not gonna sink and drown.
I can do it though.
So just take one step.
Yeah.
The longer that you wait, the deeper it is perceived to be.
100%.
But it shrinks as you take one step.
Yeah.
Don't try to go all in on one day. Try to take one step one day.
100%.
Back to that compound effect, man. But fear is such a setback for people.
Dude.
And you don't realize that your fear or unwillingness to overcome that fear is what ends up becoming your limitation in life.
Yeah. I love stoicism because like it's just the basis of you can only control what you can control. Like you don't know, like I've got no fucking control over what the hell you're thinking right now, what anything. And that's fine. That's okay. Like it's literally okay. Yeah. But that shit like that though, mind boggles people. They get so fucking caught up on it. Like you, at the end of the day, like it doesn't fucking matter. I understand in the moment it feels like it matters because I've been in the fucking moment.
But you just said it just feels.
Yeah, like, but it just feels like it. In reality, you're gonna wake up the next day and you're gonna, you know what I mean? It's all gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like the world, that's the thing. Like no matter what, the world is going to keep going with or without you. Like I know, like we always say, like this, like it's kind of like dark to say, but like like if you you die, you know what I mean? Like you're just gonna
the only guarantee.
You know what I mean? You're gonna get replaced the next day, like that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit, like that. Like that shit happens. So like,
and it's true.
It's true. You have to just fucking go about it.
Yeah, and I love that because I use the reference focus on what you can't control. So I have a little program I'm putting together, and it's the breakthrough barriers.
Okay.
And the first phase, it's 3 phases. The first one's the breakdown. So you think about the breakdown, it is literally writing down every issue in your life.
Yeah.
And this could go for anyone from a high school kid to an older person. Age, demographic doesn't really matter, but break down your reality. Dude, that shit's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to face your ego, you're going to have to face your fears, but you're going to have to dig inside and really break it down. Write down every issue that you might have in life, every setback, everything that you look at and say, if I overcame this or this wasn't an issue, my life would be way better. Mark them all down, but then you take all the ones that are out of your control. So I cannot control what the economy does, but I can control how prepared I am regardless of the economy, right? So all the ones out of your control, you mark them out.
Yeah.
And you just realize that you cannot do anything about them.
Can't do anything about
Nothing.
Nothing you can
What
change
can
now.
I control?
Yeah.
So focus on the ones you can control. Say you got 10 of them, take the top 3 in priorities to the biggest impact of change on your life. And then you take the first one and you focus on nothing else until you accomplish that.
Yeah.
And that's like the base of it. Breakdown and then bridge is the second phase. Build a bridge away from the breakdown.
Yeah.
What happens when you want to have a different life? You got to change your environment. So you got to build a bridge away from it.
Yeah.
So the second part is the bridge. That is the lonely road. You know where that's at. You know what I'm talking about. We take on this endeavor. We want to do this thing. Unpaid intern. Going for this thing. I don't know what it looks like. I'm getting criticized by everyone that cares about me. I'm on this lonely road, right?
Yeah.
Because you believe. And that's where the growth happens.
Yeah.
So you start to, you build a bridge away from that breakdown, that place you just don't want to be anymore. And then where does the bridge, the bridge comes down and lands, where does it land at? It's the third phase, it's the build up. And the build up is the highway to success.
Yeah.
And that is where the bridge comes down to a 2-lane road, but it doesn't go anywhere. You just get to the other side.
Yeah.
And that's where you start building.
Yeah.
And like for me, my highway to success started at that 2-lane spot. And now it's under construction every day. It's 200 lanes. And that's how I visualize the world.
Yeah.
And so like, that's the framework for the program, but it's so basic, so simple, and so powerful.
No,
because that's exactly what I did with my life. You probably did something very similar. And most people have to change what they consume, who they're around. They got to change that environment.
No,
because it dictates everything.
No, not ever, dude. And also, like, just most people just get caught up in the past. Like you're saying, like writing down those things. Like you need to be able to face those things and be like, okay, there's nothing I can change about this. I'm never, I'm never gonna get like the answer. Whatever it is that you're searching for in life, it's that opportunity was missed. It was just missed. And that's just what it is sometimes in life. So you just have to, you also just have to be able to move on and move forward because there's going to be so many fucking misses in life. You're gonna take way more fucking L's than like W's is what it is. But when you hit the fucking W, it's obviously way fucking bigger.
Yep.
But that's the thing is like you're gonna fail.
If you and so like win or learn, never lose. That's how I look at life.
Yeah.
Because every time that I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve, I learned a very valuable lesson.
Yes.
And that is adversity become an opportunity before you let it become detrimental to you.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in life happens for us, not to us.
Yeah.
If we perceive it that way, we can achieve anything we want. At the end of it, like you said earlier, we all die. If I'm on my deathbed and I sit there and I blame everyone for all these other things, what does that say?
Yeah.
Like that tells a person's character that blames everybody else. It's displayed pretty quick.
Yeah.
Power follows the blame finger. So whatever you blame, you put the power in. I always reference life is a mirror, not a window.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I'm pointing out the window and blaming the outside world for whatever happened,
Just point back at yourself.
I'm getting all the power out there.
Yeah.
But if I look in the mirror and say, it's on this person right here, it's the person in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's on me. My fault. So what this
accountability
happened?
mirror.
My fault.
Yeah.
Environment, family, getting screwed over, whatever it is in life, my fault.
I mean, yeah, like that's how you have to look at it. Honestly, like it sounds bad, but like sounds mean to yourself almost. But like you have to look at it like everything is you are in complete control of your life. Like I was thinking about like this like with money the other day. I was talking to somebody like. If you're not where you want to be in life financially, like it is nobody's fault but you. Like making money is a skill issue.
Yep.
Like if you can't make money, it's a skill issue.
Yep.
Like you have to
get better.
You have to get better
because
there's all these other people out here doing it in these outrageous fucking ways, bro. So like you can figure it out.
Yes. But the one thing that all them outrageous ways and these people that are gurus and buy this 20-minute book and earn $1 million bucks, well, they didn't do that, right? Majority of the time, they didn't do that 20 minutes of work. They did 20 years of work or
100%.
20, whatever it is. But understanding that you're going to have to put in so much work and fail and fail and fail.
It's not overnight.
No. It took me 14 years to become an overnight success.
Exactly.
It's like nobody sees the climb, they only see the view.
100%, yeah.
And you think about climbing up that mountain, like everyone sees you up on top of that mountain with a good life.
Yeah.
But they have no idea how rough that climb was.
100%.
Dude, $9 an hour with a shovel in my hand, 2007. Like, that's my start.
That's wild.
Nobody understands that for, 8 years in the field, hotel rooms, adversity, criticism, going against the grain. Like, Lonely Road for me was 6 to 8 years of just going against everybody in my industry. Everybody in my company, everyone that cared about me, perceived to care about me in their own way. Criticism, doing it wrong, not doing it right.
Yeah.
Why are you so different? Why can't you just follow the path? The way it's been done is not the best way.
Yeah.
Also, anytime I hear we've always done it this way, it is an automatic red flag.
Yeah.
So since 1980, you haven't done this differently?
Yeah, like come on.
Okay, go get the match and the gasoline. Let's light it on fire. Let's check it out because I guarantee it's outdated.
Yeah.
Always willing to get better is something that just has to be non-negotiable.
It has to be.
Continuous improvement is a non-negotiable for me.
100%.
If you're not getting better, you're getting worse, off the team. You got to be that way.
You can't be stagnant.
No.
Dude, just how fast the world moves these days. Like, you're stagnant, you're going to get replaced. There's always the next person up, like Corey, like the pack a lunch thing. Yeah. Like, there's always someone that is willing to take your spot or wants your spot. So you can't be the motherfucker that gives that shit up.
No, once you get complacent, you get replaced. I truly believe that. And I think one of the most profound things that I figured out in the last 5 years, self-awareness. Back to that. Whew, man, you accomplish this one big feat and then call it confidence, maybe borderline ego, you don't really know, but you know that you are capable of certain things.
Yeah.
So there is a certain understanding that you have to get to a certain place. But then you start scaling and you think about what you got to do next and you have no idea.
Yeah.
So for a couple of years, it's like, oh, well, we're very reactionary to the circumstance and we don't even know what this thing is. Yeah. And you realize that we're not that good.
Yeah.
We're not good at all, actually. We just figured out one thing, but we have no idea how to do business or how to do whatever. Same as lifting, right? You bench 135 for the first time, you're like, man, I'm strong as shit. and then you go try it again and it smacks you right in the face.
Yeah,
like
it's
you
like-
don't have a clue.
Yeah.
So as you continue to evolve and you grow, I've realized, okay, we want to have a growth phase in business. We want to get bigger. We're not good enough. We have to get way better.
Yeah.
And by way better, we have to maximize physically. We put in 12 hours a day, for example. 12 hours a day has to be maximized with what that potential is.
Yeah.
With the
Every
team we have.
motherfucker out there. that's on the
Everybody,
team.
12 hours a day, all in on this thing. And we have to hit that ceiling where we have to do something different.
Yeah.
All in on one thing, though, until that point. And then there's a tide that kind of comes where, okay, we maximize getting better.
Yeah.
So we got to get bigger. Add a new teammate, add this, add that.
Yeah.
And then elevate.
Scale,
You have to
scale.
get better before you get bigger. If you just start to get bigger, what happens is you just get bloated because your damn problems become so glaringly obvious that it implodes.
100%. Yeah.
And it's like you eat all this junk food and you're just getting bloated.
Yeah.
And then when you're not bloated, it just deflates again. And that's exactly the way business is. If you're not getting better and you're trying to get bigger, you're going to deflate.
Yeah.
And I've seen it time and time again, especially in our industry. And it will be the reason that you implode.
Yeah.
If you're not getting better.
100%. I mean, how I think about that, like in my industry, like with cryptocurrency, is like there's so many people. So like the crypto space, like it's very like new and young and everything. So there's so many people in this space that want to start. They want to do a startup. They want to start a business. They want to do something in the space, basically, right? They want to be somebody. And so what happens though is a lot of these people, they end up with a good amount of money where they have the money to do something if they want to. And they burn all that money away on some venture, some business that business that they think is the fucking move, but they actually had no business experience. No. They never even fucking ran a business before.
And they didn't continue to get better.
And they did no learning, nothing. And they just burned all their fucking money because they had no fucking clue what they were doing. They never even took the time to, this is how businesses ran at the basics.
It's so common too.
Yeah.
I had a podcast with a guy yesterday and he was talking about 7-figure business from ground up. He built 2 of them, lost everything. Both times.
Yeah.
He was driven enough to get it and imploded.
Yeah.
Because of that personality where it's not, you think that the external thing is going to give you fulfillment.
Yeah.
I think this is so unheard of or untalked about for the most part. The accolade, the accomplishment is not the win. It is not the fulfillment.
Yeah.
To me, external accomplishment, 12 years for me of complete sacrifice to buy our pipeline. All in, lost relationships, friendships, family, like all in for one goal. And it's like I climbed up this mountain. We close on Friday. Sunday morning I wake up and I'm empty.
Yeah.
I'm up on top of this mountain of this goal, this climb that I had for so long. Up on top of the mountain, I'm in the clouds, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm the damn man. Look at me. I own this company. I did the impossible feat. And then I'm up in the clouds. The sun comes up, and the cloud cover passes, and I turn around and realize this isn't the top of the mountain. This is just a ledge.
Yeah.
And the demoralizing part would be looking at it and thinking, man, I did not enjoy the climb.
Yeah.
I just tried to enjoy the view, but I can't because the climb wasn't enjoyable.
100%.
Because I hated the climb. I thought I was forced to do this to get the thing I wanted. And I didn't understand that I had that there for me to accomplish what I wanted. But the real win was the person I became
100%.
in that journey to accomplish
The
it.
mental fortitude that you had to go through to get there, like all of that.
Overcoming the adversity.
Yeah.
And so I always think about this, and I call it destination disease.
Okay.
So find joy in the journey and don't have destination disease. Because the real win is the joy in the journey, the process, the day to day.
Yeah.
And when I think about fun, when I think about what my perfect day looks like, it's my next day.
Yeah.
Today, right now, this is fun for me. I enjoy everything I do now every day because I enjoy the climb.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the view.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to climb, but when you enjoy the climb, the world changes, man.
Yeah, it really does, dude. It really does. Like there's so much just in that process of waiting and being in the process, like where you do learn so much and you take away so fucking much more. Like you almost have to just like put yourself
through that bullshit sometimes. It feels like if you want to, because the person, like what you went through, the mental fortitude and everything, like emotionally, physically, like mentally, like it all builds up then where you come out and the actual win was the better person that you became, because then that just sets you up for all the other wins in life.
Right. And as you climb, as you get better, everything else falls into place. Financial, the time freedom, living within your purpose, like the people that you're around, everything falls into place with you growing internally.
Yeah.
But this is, I don't know if you've ever heard this or not, but I did like a segment on this probably a month or so ago. Think about the weight room and the external growth. It's visible. You can see it. It's tangible. Yeah. Someone goes on a weight loss journey or wants to bulk. It's visible and you can see it.
Yeah.
Like if you're cutting for a show, anything like that is tangible. When you grow internally, it's not something that can be seen.
Sees it, yeah.
And what's even more profound for me is the people that are closest to you don't see the internal growth that much.
Yeah.
And so it's demoralizing to some people.
Yeah.
I'm doing all this work, I'm growing, and it's not appreciated by the ones closest to me.
Yeah.
But the person I talked to 4 months ago sees it and they're beside themselves at the growth.
Yeah.
Don't ever sacrifice your own belief in your greatness.
Yeah.
I truly think that comes with the confidence, but do not let your dreams die for someone else's dream to be your reality.
No. 100%.
You have to let everyone else's dream for you die to achieve your own.
100%. 100%. And you also just like, you have to think about the other people then that you are inspiring to be honest. Like that's how I look at it too. Be like, think about every single day when you go to the gym in the morning and you're posting your like the stupid fucking Instagram story, like, hey, I'm at the gym at 4 a.m. Like that shit. Someone's viewing that story every single morning and it's motivating them to fucking go to the gym. Maybe not at fucking 4 a.m., but they're going at 5, 6 a.m., whatever it is. And those small things, there's so many things like that like people don't realize. Like if you show up every single day, people are going to realize and they're going to take it in, like intake it. But like it might not be reciprocated like that, but like it is, dude. It's out there. The energy's out there.
The power in just doing the thing over and over and again, like the compound effect.
Yeah.
But I think social media in itself has changed me as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm on it less now than I've ever been on it.
Okay.
And I have 100x the presence on different platforms than I ever have.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the one actually doing it.
Yeah.
I never realized the power in it until Corey said one day, just document your life. And I didn't understand what he meant at the time. He's like, it's not about you, Jake. It's about helping other people. Your family has something it's a scrapbook.
Yeah.
And I think Rachel said it to her, like, you're just a scrapbooker.
Yeah.
Basically, like, document your life. I didn't really understand it, but now I do. I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
But don't start when you've achieved something. Start now.
100%.
When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. The second best time right now. So the process, like Hormozy is such a prime example.
Yeah.
He wants to show the process to getting to $1 billion company or net worth.
Yeah. Not just this is I got a fucking $1 billion company.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. Like that lonely road is unheard of. It's not documented because it sucks.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me a few years ago, I actually started doing Loom videos. Every day I'd wake up and I was like not confident in my direction or unsure in what I wanted to do next. So I would get my phone out and I would record a video on the way to the gym. And I would say exactly what I felt.
Yeah.
Fucking world sucks. I'm being a bitch today. I'm tired. I'm frustrated, whatever. And I would watch it after I left the gym. My world changed in about 3 weeks. Because I was like, this dude's a little bitch, right? Like I was making fun of my own self for being in that mindset.
Yeah.
When I left the gym, though, I had a clear mind.
100%.
I had appreciation for life.
Yep.
And so I could reflect on just 2 hours before being in that shit
that's cool.
mindset.
I like that, yeah.
And I actually got that from Goggins.
Okay.
And Can't Hurt Me, I think. He talked about that.
Yeah.
And he would tell like his friends to do that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
I heard that and I'm like, oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah.
I undermined my own value to the world. And Treadway and G were so just transparent, blunt, fuck you, like to me. And it was a couple of years ago and they were like, Jake, you need to do this thing. It started out writing a book. Me and Treadway were writing a book when the podcast idea like was sparked.
Yeah.
And I was going to write a book, maybe do a newsletter or something. And that was my original idea.
Okay.
And the iron infrastructure hit me one day. I'm out of the shower and I was like, I should do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then iron and energy was the first thing I could think of. The infrastructure was really for the business side of it, my original thought.
Yeah.
So the iron was the foundation, but the infrastructure was, more for the sector I'm in.
Yeah.
But then as I started thinking about it, because energy sector, it's like iron and energy, like that doesn't vibe. And I'm very symmetrical with like words. So R and R, iron and infrastructure, like the first letter, whatever. I'm very weird about that. It has to be like a line for me. And it's like iron infrastructure. I was like, the iron built my personal and professional infrastructure, and the iron's what is my like literal foundation.
Right there.
So it clicked, and I drew a picture of a circle with a plate, and I talked about it for a couple minutes at the logo to Cool.
Yeah.
He whipped up something badass, and like it navigated from there. But I was like, I could do a podcast.
Yeah.
I pitched it to Trey, to Treadway, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you get started." And he was all in on helping me. And then I hesitated. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
I felt unworthy of it. And then him and G just went relentless on me. And then next thing you know, I was like, I'm in 100% commitment.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
Now you figured it out. Look at that fucking system you got going on over there.
Dude, so October 24th of last year was my first release. And October 25th of this year was episode 100.
Damn. Yeah, I saw you just did that episode. I saw that. Yeah. That's
so
fucking
100
crazy.
episodes, so almost 2 episodes every week, damn near for a year.
That's commitment.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
And now, like, I probably have 20 or 30 episodes that it's locked up. Like, now it is therapy. This is my social gathering.
Yeah.
This is therapy for me. This is my
100%, yeah.
Instead of going out and having a party or going
like
to a
having a
concert
drink with someone and trying to talk to
just
them.
chilling. Like, I'm inspired to learn about Traevon D'ier and his history and his story and why he's here.
Yeah.
And that is the most rewarding thing that I did not see coming.
100%.
It's so powerful, man.
Yeah.
I just want to be interested in other people because I'm just interested in life in general.
100%.
Because it's so fulfilling for me.
Yeah, and it gives you more. Like it gives you your self energy then like to just go out and put into the world. And I mean, energy is reciprocated. So if you put good shit out there, dude, it's gonna come back.
And environment's everything.
Yeah.
And surround yourself with good people in a good environment, and anything is possible. And I knew from the beginning, 2 years in, if it doesn't get any attention, if I don't care about it, if I'm not inspired by it, I gave it my all. I'll commit for 2 years. And it's funny because a year ago, barely getting anything out, and then I got someone working for me now doing the content, and like you just see the views start to go up a little bit. And it's like that little. It's like the compound effect again. You know? It's like, oh, I got 20 views on this, 20 views on that, whatever. It's not growing. Next thing you know, now normal's 500 to 800 views.
Yeah.
And it's like 1,000, 6,000, 7,000, 20,000 on that
And
one.
you keep going.
And it's like, a couple of them had like
too.
60 or 70. It's like, and you just see it and you're like,
okay, it's clicking.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are watching.
Yeah.
Are they getting value? Well, I probably had 100, 200 people reach out, whether through, people I knew in the past. But what I realized is, man, I've been doing this my whole life. I just never documented it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm putting it out there in the public, I'm able to impact so many more people.
100%.
And that is the ultimate fulfillment that I did not see coming.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Impacting other people. Like I always tell myself, like I want to be the person that like I needed when I was growing up.
Yes.
Like that's
You're a
that's,
superhero.
Yeah, like I want to be like that person where like when I was like in middle school or high school and I was just down bad, like with shit, like, and that was the source of inspiration. I want to be that person.
Yeah, I talk about the superhero concept a lot, and we all grow up in a certain environment, we all have different backgrounds and different upbringings, and we become somebody because of that most of the time, and we attach ourselves to a fictional character or someone that. Like a Superman or a Batman, like Spider-Man.
I mean, reality is most people don't have their own reality in their life figured out.
But then as you get a little bit older and like, the cartoon isn't really the thing anymore. Like I understand the world a little bit different. You find someone that you aspire to be. Yeah. And the reality for me was I had one person in my life that I aspired to be for 20 years. And then I figured out the reality. That's not the superhero, that's the villain.
Yeah.
And then I thought like it was demoralizing because I'm like, the person I always aspired to be is really a villain to me. So I have to aspire to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's when it all clicked for me. It's like, I just have to aspire to be me,
Yeah.
my own superhero. And the person that I want to be in 10 years or 15 years is my superhero.
Yeah.
And I will never be that person. I will always aspire to be my superhero in 10 years from now. But if I do that, I will always be the best version of me because I'm focusing on the controllable.
Yeah.
Because if I put all my energy into somebody else, I can be let down at any given second. But if I put it all in on me and my future self, it's always going to be a win.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be like, people have to be selfish. You got to be selfish with yourself, your time, like all of that kind of shit.
And when you are, what happens? You give your best version to everyone else that you love and care
100%,
about.
yeah.
And if you're not selfish first, then you're giving a lesser return on investment to the other people around you.
Facts.
And then you're not as valuable to them.
Yeah.
And it just brings the bar down all the way.
It does. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it sounds backwards to what most people think, but being selfish is actually being selfless for the most part.
It is, yeah, to an extent, yeah. And then it's just, I mean, all it is just like back to where it's just balancing the ego aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like it's what a lot of it comes back down to. You know.
Yeah. And I think back to that, like ego and confidence. I think a lot of ego is what's your intent.
Yeah.
Are you being confident to inspire, empower other people?
Yeah.
Or are you being egotistic to gain a leverage point in whatever your endeavor is?
Yeah.
And it's all about intent to me.
100%. Yeah. The intention of stuff.
I look at confidence a lot about intent. So, like, I have good intent with my confidence is coming from a place of good intent. I don't have any bad intentions with whatever I say or do.
Yeah.
And if it's good intentioned, and I'm giving max effort, I'll link my confidence to that.
Yeah.
That's why it's my life motto, persistent patience. But it's like, I know that I have the best interest in the people that are on my team.
Yeah.
And the people that are on my team are the ones that are inspired and want to do something to create significance in the world. And if you're not on my team, cool. It's going to be a no.
Yeah.
If you're on my team, hell yes. Let's do something great. As long as you're continuing to improve and want more.
Yeah.
And by my team, I mean me and you. You're on my team. You're a friend of mine. I have a lot of respect for you. You're on my team. People not in the 4 a.m. crew anymore that were a year ago, not on my team.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to them since they left.
Yeah.
Right? Not a part of it. No disrespect. Don't care what they're doing or how they're doing or whatever. They're just not on my team anymore.
Yeah.
That train's went down the tracks for me.
They got traded.
Yeah, see ya. And it's okay though.
Yeah.
That's the reality about how you feel.
Yeah.
Like there's emotion and there's logic on a lot of it.
Yeah.
And logically, things from a logic component, you can't feel a certain way about what logic says. Like the data says that this is black and white and this is black and this is white. Don't argue about gray because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so many people want to be ignorant and argue about something that is irrelevant. And then you have factual component and your emotion is talking about it.
100%.
Like out here,
There's a whole huge fucking difference with that shit. Yeah.
So big.
Yeah.
So big. What's next for Traevon D'ier? What do you got going on now, man? Let's talk about the present.
Man, what's next for me? So right now I'm working on a crypto startup, like Varsity Creative NFT. Working on putting together an NFT collection, which is, to people that aren't familiar, it's a non-fungible token. So it's basically, the simplest way to put it is it's a virtual asset. It's an asset that is verifiable on the internet, on the blockchain, on a public ledger, where anybody can see that you own the asset and it's verifiable and all that kind of shit like that. So I'm really into like technology, the technological advancement of cryptocurrency, what it can do for the everyday consumer, and how it can play a role in every bit in basically people's daily life.
A lot of the audience listening probably have no idea what you just said or talking about. So talk a little bit just about the base platforms or, insight that could be gained. Obviously, follow Traevon D'ier on Twitter.
Yeah, at Traevon D'ier. Yeah, I'm just at Traevon D'ier on Twitter. Yeah, I talk about cryptocurrency all day, every day. I'm chronically there. So like base cryptocurrency, dude, it's decentralized money is the best way to put it. It's an asset that you can own that is completely decentralized from
the government's control, where you actually own your money. Think about when you want to make a bank wire, or you want to transfer some money, or you're waiting for some money. You're always that bank shit's always taking so long because the bank don't got your fucking money. The bank loaned out your fucking money. The bank loaned your money somewhere else. But with cryptocurrency, you actually own your assets. Those assets are actually in your name. It's all self custodial, basically. Right. So like your wallet is self custodial. You are responsible for your money. You are the only person that is accessible to it. All of that kind of shit like that.
And you can use it anywhere in the world.
100%. That is also the crazy thing.
There's no conversion rate. There's no pesos to US dollar.
The best way that I like to explain it is, let's say that I want to send you $50,000 in Bitcoin right now. It's going to take me about 10 seconds after I pull my phone out, and the transaction fee is going to be about 30 cents, and you're going to receive that money in less than 5 minutes. Yeah. And it does not matter the amount of money that is being sent.
Right. And just a ACH. And
it can be anywhere in the world to anybody.
And it's amazing because a standard ACH within the state could be anywhere from 1 to 24 hours.
Bro, don't get me started about some of that shit. I hate fucking waiting on like the bank like, dude, come on, that shit should not take that fucking long.
Well, and why is it so controversial? Because it's not regulated. It's not controlled by a governing body. Yeah, that's not popular.
Yeah, I was telling people there's a reason that when people think about cryptocurrency, most people think it's a scam. They think it's scammy because of the news headlines that you've seen. You see on the news, oh, this person's frauded everybody.
Facebook said it must be true, right?
Yeah, he went on and he frauded all these people and he's going to prison now. Those are all the headlines that people are giving about cryptocurrency, and it's because, like, I mean, I'm not to be like one of those people, but like, it's the government doesn't want you to own Bitcoin, like that kind of shit.
Because they can't take it.
They can't take it. It's your money. They can't seize your money. So, hey, if you got fucking money, I would think you wouldn't want motherfuckers to touch your money, right? What's yours is yours.
If you earned it, right?
Yeah.
If you earned it, you want to protect it.
Yeah. I'm just one of those people where like I'm all about owning assets, and when I talk about owning assets, I mean actually owning your fucking assets.
And not having them leverage for interest to borrow
100%.
somebody else. Yeah.
I can leverage that bitch myself.
Yep. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm ignorant. Like I've admitted to you, I don't know much about it. I know enough to hear you talk about it, and then you get complex and I'm lost, but I'm very interested. And so it's that continuous improvement, that learning, but finding what you're passionate about and finding 100%. A niche.
Yeah.
You're doing good things, man.
Yeah, and you can make a living. You can make a living out of it. Like when you find that niche and you build a community, like it's there in any space.
Just got to take the risk, put the time in, be willing to fail more than you succeed for a long time, and then that one chance comes along, that one success comes along.
Yeah, that one time
makes you right.
The one time you get quote unquote lucky.
Yeah, lucky. One successful 1 W. Yeah. For 14 years of L's, overnight success, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh man, it could not be more true. Back to the basics: the profound compound effect, habit building, stacking little wins every day.
Yeah,
life altering
is very life altering. Yeah. It really, like you said, it really is just the basics, the foundation. Like it's things that I think, like I talk to Corey about this sometimes. Like there's things like that we think about that just go completely over our head. Like. We wake up in the morning and we just have, and you wake up in the morning, you have your routine. This is what I do before you mean all right, like this is what I do in the little bit of time I have before I start driving to the gym, whatever. Yep. You got your fucking system, you got your routine. This is what I do.
Yep.
Most people don't even think back to those basics. So like, it's like we're talking about these things because we want to make people aware. You want to give the awareness. Like you should think back. Think back. Like it's all it is as simple as being like, hey, maybe. I'm running out of time in the morning. I should probably wake up 10 minutes earlier. Being aware
not an
of those
hour,
things.
10 minutes.
Yes.
Don't start all in. Start small.
You don't have to go fucking crazy. You don't have to go to the gym at 4 a.m. like we do. Right. You can go at fucking 4 p.m. every day if you want, as long as you're fucking there at 4 p.m. every day.
You just gotta show up.
You gotta show up.
Starting small is also something that I'm really big on. So when I help people now that want to lose 30 pounds. First thing, you got to be specific. Oh, I want to look better and be healthier. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? What's the purpose? What does that look like? How do you measure your progress if that's your end goal?
Yeah.
Because that is a feeling. That's an emotion. That's not something that is
You're not going to be
achievable.
able to look in the mirror. Yeah.
Right. So 30 pounds, like I use the analogy SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So you got to be specific, black or white, measure the progress. Is it attainable and realistic? And then can you put a timeline on the completion of it? So I want to lose 30 pounds in 3 months, 10 pounds per month.
Okay.
And I want to do this with the outcome being that healthier, desire. So be very specific on that, measure the progress. And then I always start with 21 days of 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, and 5 squats.
Yeah. Super
That's
simple.
it. 5.
Yeah.
Body weight. That's it. Do that for 21 days. And that's it. Don't do anything else.
Huge
What
difference,
about
though.
this? What about that? No.
Yeah. Just
So
start.
that and a half gallon of water on top of whatever else you're normally doing. And then, some people that understand it a little bit more, tell me what you're eating. But I don't go like all in on it. Because if you go all in, you're going to fail for sure. Almost 99% guaranteed that all in is going to become all out because
Eventually,
you implode.
you're going to burn out.
So start small and then everything else starts to be clear.
It does,
I shouldn't eat that McDonald's and drink that Mountain Dew
Yeah, 'cause
because
I feel like, I realize I feel like ass every time
and the
afterwards.
side effect ends up becoming the other habits that are developed after that point. But you got to establish the habit, not the ability to, not the 5 push-ups, sit-ups, squats. I don't expect anyone to lose weight doing that.
Yeah.
If they lose weight, though, it's not that little bit of thing that they're doing every day because it takes about a minute to do that.
Yeah.
It's about all the other decisions made throughout the day, being
100%.
conscious about that commitment.
Yeah.
And it truly has helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it sounds profound, but I'm not taking anything from you. I'm just adding something in.
Yeah. No, I like that.
So if you want to quit drinking pop, I'm not going to take pop away, but every pop you drink 1 bottle of water.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're not going to drink a 12-pack of Mountain Dew and a 12-pack of water.
Yeah.
You're going to cut back eventually.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah.
And then you're going to start feeling better.
Yeah. And
Right? So the reward is there, and I'm not taking anything from you. It's psychological warfare, man.
Yeah.
And it is very profound and impactful to the people I've helped.
Yeah.
But it's so basic, it's so simple. Simplifying something can be very complex.
Yeah.
And it's very simple, though, to make something complex.
Yeah.
So think about that. It's so easy because it's a perfectionism thing. I want this accomplishment. Well, it's an ideal. It becomes a perfection thing.
Yeah.
So you procrastinate and nothing ever happens. Progress is never made. Set something in place that you can measure it and then just know it's progress, not perfection. Just get a little bit better
Yeah.
and everything becomes clear to you.
Yeah, I mean, like we say, it doesn't fucking happen overnight. Like, I mean, I always great example I think of is you see all these fucking new pop artists, hip hop artists, rappers, whatever it is, and you're like, who the fuck is this name? I've never fucking heard of him. But that dude's
Been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah, the motherfucker's been singing on a mic for 15 years, and you just now happen to see his fucking YouTube video. You know,
Overnight success, right? That one hit that gets out that
exactly
takes
one hit.
off.
Yeah,
That one hit took 15 years to get.
exactly.
I think about there's a story, and I forget what the artist was or whatever, but there's this famous artist in this cafe, and this lady comes over with a napkin and a pencil and says, I'm so and so. Can you draw this? I'm inspired by your work or whatever. And he draws it, and he goes to hand the napkin back. And he's like, "That's $10,000." And she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's like, $10,000. And she's like, "But you just drew that little picture on a napkin." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. $10,000. She's like, "Why would you charge me for that? It took you 5 minutes." And she's like, "No, it took me 50 years to be able to do that in 5 minutes."
Yeah.
And now I'm a profound artist, and I could probably sell this napkin for $20,000.
Yeah.
It's like the thought of that.
That's
The ship's getting ready to sink. They call
so
all these
good to
people
think
in
about
on
it,
board, and they have 100 people looking at this one issue. No one can figure it out. One guy shows up, flips a switch, walks away, 50 grand. But you just flipped a switch. Yeah, but you got 100 people here doing it, and all the time I spent over years of getting better is worth that 50 grand because them 100 people that you have been hours in on this and can't figure it out. Very, very misunderstood. But
I get exactly what you're saying. It's like the people when you get your keys locked out of when your keys are locked in your car or some shit, you can't get in your car, and then you have to call the person to fucking get in, and they just do it in 30 fucking seconds, and then you have to fucking pay them $100, and you're like. That took 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you got your keys that you didn't have before, so now you can get out of here, right? So what's it really worth? What's the value?
It's worth it.
Yeah.
So No, I get that.
Trace B, Traevon D'ier. Where can the people find you? Shout it out again.
Yeah, Traevon D'ier on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm Traevon D'ier on all social media. TRAEVON.
Traevon D'ier, and this boy is fast now.
Yeah.
Trace Speed. Appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me. It was a great time. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Iron Infrastructure Podcast. We're out.
Yeah. Peace out.
This episode is brought to you by Max Effort Muscle. For all your supplement needs, go to maxeffortmuscle.com.